the Outer Banks in 1978, started my business in 1979, so I remember pretty vividly when the Outer Banks Community Foundation was started in 1982. And I remember seeing the press releases and being really impressed with the founding board members. And I thought to myself, I mean, this is something I really wanted to down the road get involved in. And I knew it was going to succeed because I saw the ones that were behind it. And so probably mid to late 80s, I became a member of the Outer Banks Community Foundation. That was probably really my first involvement. And as time went on and the Community Foundation grew, I started seeing more and more of the impact that the Outer Banks Community Foundation was making on the Outer Banks.
When David Stick first approached the Council on Foundations, he was told that this community was not large enough to support a community foundation, and he disagreed with that.
We can take $750, $1,000 and change some person's life, and get them going on the right track. And sometimes all you need is to get going is a little bit of initiative and somebody giving you help. I gave a girl a $1,000 scholarship one time. She'd been talking about going back and getting her master's. And I gave her a $1,000 scholarship, and she just jumped right on it after I gave her that, enrolled, and long ago she's already had her master's and gone.
And all the different pieces of the pie that the Community Foundation has given money out to. I mean, education, history, disaster, environment, the arts. Just you go on and on. And I'm just really, really, really glad that I've been a big part of it.
I don't think that you can find a more giving community than the Outer Banks. If there's a need and people are aware of it, it'll be taken care of. It's very, very unique, and we love it. When the idea came for a feeding program for children who we were told by the schools and by social services came to school on Monday mornings and ate twice as much food as they did the other mornings, and Friday at noon consumed twice as much, fueling up for the weekend, we went to the Community Foundation because I knew that they had grants available and asked for a grant for a startup program. The Community Foundation granted us $8,000, I think, for the startup program in Manteo, and the schools jumped on board. We started and had 54 children that first year. It's grown to over 600 every weekend now.
For all of us, it kind of started with trying to establish some way to commemorate what my mom and father have done in the local community.
And so then when we started the Hester Legacy Fund, we wanted to continue the three main causes that Naomi and Chuck had worked on, and that was veterans at risk, children at risk, and older adults at risk. This community center serves all three of those populations. We have a toy drive every year that serves the children who need toys for Christmas. And then we have a veterans program that's in its second annual veterans program. We had a luncheon this year. But also a lot of veterans come here and spend their time here. And then they have senior programs that seniors at risk can spend time at the community center and enjoy themselves so they can get out of the house. They also have a meal here for them. They do Meals on Wheels.
Helen was diagnosed with ALS March 23rd of 2011, and she died at April 18th, 2012. But Helen years ago started setting up a RA, and for one day thinking about donating this money for scholarships and where she could see that young people get the proper scholarships to go to college and educate themselves and going on.
You see their faces, and you read the letters and the thank you notes, and you realize you made a difference.
The Outer Banks is just it's a special place on this earth. The people here are just wonderful, and even outsiders like us, we know we'll never be locals, but we can just join in with everybody else, and everyone can enjoy the fruits of their labors and create their own labors and their own form of giving, and it's just a great place to live. God has blessed us.
I've always been amazed on how folks here give back. I think obviously, the beauty and the recreational opportunities, and I love to fish, and I mean, all of that's great, and you love that part of the Outer Banks. But it's the people, I mean, that's what's really made a difference.